If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Question: you test the various options that SAP S4HANA offers for stock transfers between two different plants within the same company code. Which special features do stock transport orders have? Note: there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1: you can optionally post the goods issue from inspection stock in the supplying plant. Option 2: the material on the road is managed in the stock in transit of the receiving plant. Option 3: if necessary, you can post the goods receipt to block stock in the receiving plant. Option 4: the material on the road is part of the valuated stock of the shipping plant. Question: how do you proceed if you want to create purchasing info records for consumable materials without material master records? Option 1: you specify a special info category. Option 2: you specify the relationship between a material type and a supplier. Option 3: you must first create material master records. Option 4: you specify the relationship between a material group and a supplier. Question: which of the following occurs when you park a supplier invoice related to a purchase order? Note: there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1: the purchase order history is updated. Option 2: an invoice document is created. Option 3: G/L accounts are updated. Option 4: an FI invoice is posted and blocked for payment. Question: at which of the following organizational levels must you maintain a business partner master record for a supplier? Note: there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: client. Option 2: purchasing organization. Option 3: plant. Option 4: purchasing group. Option 5: company code. Question: you want to use automatic conversion of purchase requisitions into purchase orders for some raw materials. What are the prerequisites? Note: there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: the automatic purchase order indicator is set in the plant-specific purchasing data of the material master record. Option 2: the automatic purchase order indicator is set in the purchasing data of the business partner master record. Option 3: a source of supply containing valid conditions is assigned to the purchase requisition. Option 4: a contract with plant-specific conditions exists for the material and the vendor. Option 5: a plant-specific source list entry exists for the material. Question: when using a classic release procedure, for which of the following documents must you use classification? Note: there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1: outline agreements. Option 2: requests for quotation. Option 3: JIT delivery schedules. Option 4: purchase requisitions. Question: your MRP run detects a shortage of 2,000 pieces for a certain material for which a quota arrangement is active. Each of your 2 suppliers can only supply 1,000 pieces at once. What must you maintain to have MRP generate a procurement proposal for 1,000 pieces for each supplier? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, assign the indicator for quota splitting to the used lot sizing procedure. Option 2, assign a rounding profile in the material master record of the planned material. Option 3, set a maximum quota quantity in the quota arrangement item for each supplier. Option 4, set a maximum lot size in the quota arrangement item and activate the 1x checkbox. Question: in your project, you need to make sure that consignment purchase orders utilize a different number range than other purchase orders. What must you do? Option 1, customize a new document type, assign a new number range object, and assign the item category for consignment to this type. Option 2, customize a new document type, assign a new number range, and assign the item category for consignment only to this type. Option 3, customize a new item category for this purpose and assign a new number range to it. Option 4, customize a new item category for this purpose and deactivate the standard one. Question: which SAP Fiori design principle has the goal of having one type of user, one use case, and a maximum of 3 screens for each application? Option 1, simple. Option 2, role-based. Option 3, responsive. Option 4, instant value. Question: you regularly purchase non-stock materials. What must you set up to allow the system to automatically propose specific accounts for these materials? Option 1, assign transaction keys to the material groups of these materials. Option 2, assign transaction keys to the account assignment categories used. Option 3, assign valuation classes to the material groups of these materials. Option 4, assign valuation classes to the account assignment categories used. Question: your purchasing department wants to monitor overdue purchase orders. What are the prerequisites for issuing delivery reminders for a purchase order? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, maintain reminder periods in the purchase order item. Option 2, maintain a confirmation control key in the supplier master. Option 3, maintain purchasing value keys in the purchase order item. Option 4, output the purchase order. Option 5, set message determination in customizing and maintain message records. Question: you want to manually post an initial entry of stock for a material in SAP S/4HANA. You should be able to enter both a quantity and an amount. How do you proceed? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, on the SAP Fiori L on CHP add, use the post goods movement app. Option 2 on the SAP Fiori-L on CHP Add, use the Manage Stock app. Option 3 on the SAP Fiori-L on CHP Add, use the Post Goods Receipt without reference app. Option 4 in the SAP GUI, use Transaction MIGO. Question: an incoming invoice shows a variance when compared to the expected quantity or amount. How can you record this invoice? Note, there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1: enter the actual invoice values, use the reduction function, and post. The system creates a credit memo in addition to the actual invoice. Option 2: enter the actual invoice values, use the reduction function, and post. The system creates an invoice with the reduced values. Option 3: enter the actual invoice values and post. The system creates an invoice with the actual values and might block it for payment. Option 4: enter the actual invoice values. You must then park the invoice because posting is not allowed. Question: which of the following prerequisites must be met for the system to check the shelf life of materials at goods receipt? Note, there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: the shelf life expiration date check is activated for the material type in customizing. Option 2: the shelf life expiration date check is activated for the plant in customizing. Option 3: the shelf life expiration date check is activated for the movement type in customizing. Option 4: batch management is active for the material in the plant. Option 5: the purchase order item contains the remaining shelf life. Question: which of the following elements can be generated by material requirements planning, MRP? Note, there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: production order. Option 2: delivery schedule line. Option 3: purchase order. Option 4: planned order. Option 5: purchase requisition. Question: for which type of blocked invoices can you use the automatic release function of the Release Blocked Invoices app? Option 1: invoices blocked because of an excessive amount. Option 2: invoices blocked manually. Option 3: invoices blocked stochastic ally. Option 4: invoices blocked due to variances. Question: how can you personalize the Procurement Overview app? Note, there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: filter the content of a card. Option 2: extend the set with a new card. Option 3: change the position of the cards. Option 4: change the set of cards. Option 5: hide an existing card. Question: which of the following tasks does the system perform during reorder point planning? Note, there are three correct answers to this question. Option 1: recalculate the replenishment lead time for materials. with automatic reorder point planning. Option 2 check, in the planning file entries, whether a material must be included in the planning run. Option 3 perform backward scheduling to determine the availability dates of purchase requisitions. Option 4 carry out a lot size calculation for every material with net requirements. Option 5 carry out a net requirement calculation for every material included in the planning run. Question: you want to set up account determination so that several material types are grouped on the same accounts. What must you do? Option 1 assign the same valuation grouping code to the material types. Option 2 assign the same account modification to the material types. Option 3 assign the same valuation class to the material types. Option 4 assign the same account category reference to the material types. Question: what are some key features of goods receipt-based, GR-based invoice verification? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1: an invoice item is automatically generated for each goods receipt. Option 2: as a prerequisite, the indicator for GR-based invoice verification is set in the purchase order item. Option 3: each invoice item is assigned to a goods receipt item. Option 4: after posting, you can reassign invoices from one goods receipt to another. Option 5: a goods receipt must be posted prior to the invoice. Question: goods from a supplier arrive at your warehouse. However, you do not want these goods to be part of your inventory yet. What is the procedure for recording the conditional goods receipt, GR? Option 1: post a goods receipt to valuated GR block stock. Option 2: post a goods receipt to non-valuated GR block stock. Option 3: select the block stock type when posting the goods receipt. Option 4: make a note in the purchase order and wait until the conditions for accepting the delivery are met. Question: which of the following are characteristics of the hold function for purchase orders? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1: it triggers a workflow to request completion of the document. Option 2: it is supported for blanket purchase orders. Option 3: it disables follow-on activities. Option 4: it allows any kind of error in a document. Question: what is the effect of setting the freeze book inventory indicator in a physical inventory document header? Option 1: the book inventory is determined and fixed in the physical inventory document at the beginning of the count. Option 2: the system blocks all inventory management units of the physical inventory document for procurement. Option 3: the book inventory is determined and fixed in the physical inventory document at the time of the difference posting. Option 4: the system blocks all inventory management units of the physical inventory document for goods movements. Question: which field can you use to prevent a discontinued material from being procured? Option 1: special procurement type. Option 2 control code. Option 3 material status. Option 4 authorization group. Question: which of the following are possible personalization options of the SAP Fiori L on CHP ad? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1 settings for language and region. Option 2 selection of the design theme. Option 3 selection of an SAP Fiori catalog. Option 4 selection of tile size. Question: you send newly created purchase orders to a supplier via EDI, whereas quantity or price changes are to be transmitted by email. What prerequisites must be met if you are using the condition technique for message determination? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1 the price and quantity fields are relevant for printout changes. Option 2 the condition record contains the price and quantity fields. Option 3 the dispatch time related to the change message needs to be set to 1, send with periodically scheduled job. Option 4 the new message determination process for change messages indicator is flagged in customizing. Option 5 you use different message types for the print operations new and change. Question: when creating a scheduling agreement, which field controls the creation of a scheduling agreement with release documentation? Option 1 JIT indicator. Option 2 creation profile. Option 3 agreement type. Option 4 item category. Question: what can you control with a document type in purchasing? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1 number range. Option 2 link AGE to material groups. Option 3 allowed account assignment categories. Option 4 field selection. Option 5 allowed item categories. Question: you are receiving deliveries for evaluated material. Which documents are created when you post a goods receipt? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1 physical inventory document. Option 2 material document. Option 3 accounting document. Option 4 invoice document. Question: which options are available for the automatic posting of unplanned delivery costs when creating an invoice with purchase order reference? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1 the costs can be posted to a separate account. Option 2 the system determines a freight clearing account for posting the costs. Option 3 the costs are posted automatically in a separate invoice. Option 4 the costs can be distributed among the invoice items. Question: which item category must you use for subcontracting? Option 1 item category K. Option 2 item category L. Option 3 item category D. Option 4 item category W. Question: which of the following are features of the delivery completed? Indicator in a purchase order, PO, item. Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, you can set the indicator manually when entering a goods receipt for your PO item. Option 2, the indicator is always set automatically if the quantity received is within the under-delivery tolerance. Option 3, if you set the indicator, the PO item is no longer relevant for material requirements planning. Option 4, if you set the indicator, no further goods receipt may be posted for the PO item. Question, which of the following actions can an end user perform with filtered report results in an SAP Fiori app? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, schedule as a background job. Option 2, save as a new tile on the SAP Fiori Launchpad. Option 3, share on SAP Jam. Option 4, send via email. Option 5, save as a CDs view. Question, which of the following can you control with the confirmation control key? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, the sequence of required confirmations. Option 2, default reminder levels for outstanding confirmations. Option 3, the document type for the goods receipt. Option 4, whether a confirmation is a prerequisite for a goods receipt. Question, which of the following are prerequisites for flexible workflows? For purchase order approval? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, deactivate the classic release procedure for purchase orders in customizing. Option 2, activate the flexible workflow for purchase orders in customizing. Option 3, define the recipients for the flexible workflow in the Manage Workflows for Purchase Orders SAP Fiori app. Option 4, set up the preconditions for the flexible workflow in the Manage Workflows for Purchase Orders SAP Fiori app. Option 5, create a class with flexible workflow characteristics for purchase orders. Question, what do you need to do if you want MRP Live to create planned orders for externally procured materials? Option 1, implement BAT-IPPH_MRP_sourcing_BADI equals SOS_det_adjust. Option 2, change the procurement type of the material. Option 3, set the MRP indicator in the source list of the material to not relevant for planning. Option 4, set the appropriate plant-specific material status. Question, for which of the following scenarios could you implement a stock determination strategy for a material in inventory management? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, your material is stored at various storage locations in your plant. You want to withdraw from the storage location with the highest stock first. Option 2, your material is stored in different plants. You want to withdraw from the plant with the lowest stock first. Option 3, you use split valuation to separate internally produced and externally procured quantities. Internally produced quantities should be withdrawn first. Option 4, you have both vendor consignment stock and own stock. For the material, you want to withdraw your own stock first. Option 5, you have both quality inspection stock and unrestricted use stock. For the material, you want to withdraw unrestricted use stock first. Question: what needs to be configured and assigned if pricing conditions in purchase orders should only be visible to certain users? Option 1, user parameter EVO. Option 2, user parameter EFB. Option 3, field selection key for the activity category. Option 4, field selection key for the transaction. Question: which of the following parameters should you consider when determining the manual reorder point for a material? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, safety stock. Option 2, checking group for availability check. Option 3, expected daily requirements. Option 4, lot sizing procedure. Option 5, replenishment lead time. Question: production planning and product costing are to be implemented in your company. Which organizational level must you choose? For stock valuation? Option 1, company code. Option 2, business area. Option 3, plant. Option 4, controlling area. Question: for which type of contracts can you use item category material group W? Option 1, sales contracts. Option 2, service contracts. Option 3, quantity contracts. Option 4, value contracts. Question: you have ordered a stock material that is valuated with a standard price. The price in the purchase order, PO, is higher than the standard price of the material. Which accounts are updated at goods receipt? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, GR/IR. Option 2, stock. Option 3, price differences. Option 4, material consumption. Option 5, inventory differences. Question: your company uses the classic release procedure for purchase orders. What are some characteristics of a release procedure for purchase orders? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, the release or rejection of a purchase order is only possible at header level. Option 2, the output of purchase orders is not possible before approval. Option 3, release procedures for purchase orders are possible without classification. Option 4, the release or rejection of a purchase order is only possible at line item level. Question: in your company, invoice verification clerks post a cash discount amount using the posting net method. How do they trigger the posting method? Option 1 by choosing an appropriate payment method. Option 2 by changing the payment terms. Option 3 by using an appropriate document type. Option 4 by creating an extra invoice item for the cash discount amount. Question: you have several company codes and plants in your SAP S/4HANA system. You set the valuation level to plant. How can you minimize the effort involved in account determination? Option 1: you can group plants assigned to company codes that have the same chart of accounts by using the account grouping code. Option 2: you can group plants assigned to company codes that have different charts of accounts by using the account grouping code. Option 3: you can group plants assigned to company codes that have different charts of accounts by using the valuation grouping code. Option 4: you can group plants assigned to company codes that have the same chart of accounts by using the valuation grouping code. Question: in which situation can you have open items in the GR/IR clearing account? Option 1: when there is a price difference between purchase order and invoice receipt for a purchase order item. Option 2: when there is a quantity difference between invoice and purchase order item. Option 3: when there is a difference between the invoice price and the valuation price of the material. Option 4: when there is a quantity difference between goods receipt and invoice receipt for a purchase order item. Question: you are interested in the percentage of shopping cart items that require manual changes to either the purchase order or the purchase requisition after initial creation and approval. What key performance indicator, KPI, provides this information? Option 1: purchase requisition to order cycle time. Option 2: purchase requisition item changes. Option 3: purchase requisition high touch rate. Option 4: purchase requisition low touch rate. Question: how does the system derive the company code when you post a goods movement in a plant? Option 1: the system determines the company code from your default settings. Option 2: when you enter a plant, the system uniquely determines the company code, since a plant can only belong to one company code. Option 3: when you enter a plant, the system uniquely finds a purchasing organization and then a company code, since each purchasing organization is assigned to a single company code. Option 4: when you enter a movement type, the system uniquely finds a company code, since a movement type is only valid for a single combination of plant and company code. Question: you want to post scrap expenses to a special account. Which characteristics can you use to influence the behavior of the account determination? Note, there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1: movement type. Option 2: stock type. Option 3: plant. Option 4: storage location. Question: what are some SAP Smart Business Key Performance Indicators, KPIs, Available for contracts? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1 value contract consumption. Option 2 conditions by contract. Option 3 unused contracts. Option 4 contract release orders. Option 5 contract leakage. Question: you want to prevent a specific material from being ordered from a specific supplier. What must you do? Option 1 create an entry in the source list with a blocking indicator. Option 2 create a blocking entry in the purchasing info record. Option 3 create a quota arrangement entry with a quantity of 0. Option 4 create a blocking entry in the supplier master record. Question: which of the following business partner roles are required to execute a procurement process? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1 contact person on purchasing organization level. Option 2 vendor on company code level. Option 3 supplier on purchasing organization level. Option 4 supplier on purchasing group level. Question: supplier A should automatically be proposed as the primary source for a specific material. What options do you have? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1 use the regular supplier indicator in the info record. Option 2 use a source list and mark the supplier as fixed. Option 3 set the regular supplier indicator in the business partner master record. Option 4 enter the supplier as the primary source in the material master record. Question: which of the following activities is a prerequisite to enable partner role determination in purchasing documents? Option 1 assign a partner role to relevant purchasing document types. Option 2 assign a partner schema to relevant arrangement types. Option 3 assign a partner schema to relevant account groups. Option 4 assign a partner schema to relevant purchasing document types. Question: which of the following are features of a scheduling agreement? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1 a scheduling agreement can be used for a consignment process. Option 2 item category M, material unknown, can be used in a scheduling agreement. Option 3 a material master record is optional in a scheduling agreement item. Option 4 scheduling agreement delivery schedule lines can only be created manually. Option 5 a scheduling agreement item is always plant specific. Question: in which of the following business transactions will you get an error message if automatic account determination has been set up incorrectly? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1 posting of a material price change. Option 2 goods issue of evaluated material. Option 3 goods receipt of consignment stock. Option 4 goods receipt of evaluated material. Option 5 stock transfer from a storage location to another storage location. Question: you want to create a purchase order with reference to a purchase requisition. What controls the linkage between the line item of your purchase order and the purchase requisition? Option 1, document type. Option 2, document category. Option 3, account assignment category. Option 4, item category. Question: what are some key features of the SAP Smart Business Key? Performance indicator, KPI, tiles used for purchasing. Analytics. Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, each tile represents a set of actionable cards. Option 2, chart snippets on a tile are updated after each start of the evaluation. Option 3, the tiles show key information that is updated in real time. Option 4, numbers on the tiles can have different colors for different alert thresholds. Question: what must you consider when defining purchasing organizations? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1, each purchasing organization has its own supplier master data. Option 2, each purchasing organization has its own info records. Option 3, each purchasing organization has its own material master data. Option 4, each purchasing organization has its own purchasing groups. Question: you want to procure material from another plant. What purchasing instrument would you use? Option 1, warehouse transfer request. Option 2, warehouse transfer order. Option 3, standard purchase order. Option 4, stock transport order. Question: which of the following are features of a subcontracting procurement process? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, you can assign a subcontracting order item to an account. Option 2, you must create a subcontracting info record before you can order a material by subcontracting. Option 3, you can maintain components to be provided in a bill of material. Option 4, you can have subcontracting purchase requisitions created by MRP. Option 5, you can post a non-valuated goods receipt for a subcontracting order item. Question: which organizational assignment is mandatory for external procurement? Option 1, plant, purchasing group. Option 2, company code, purchasing organization. Option 3, plant, purchasing organization. Option 4, reference purchasing organization. Purchasing organization. Question: A supplier delivers material to your warehouse, however, you are only obliged to pay the supplier once you have withdrawn the stock. Which procurement process would you implement for this purpose? Option 1 Standard. Option 2 Third Party. Option 3 Consignment. Option 4 Stock Transfer. Question: you procure finished goods from a supplier. The supplier manufactures the product using components shipped from your company. Which process do you use for this scenario? Option 1 Subcontracting. Option 2 External processing. Option 3 Standard procurement. Option 4 Third-party procurement. Question: at what level do you maintain the purchasing group in the material master? Option 1 Purchasing organization. Option 2 Plant. Option 3 Company code. Option 4 Client. Question: what logic does the system use during PO creation to propose a valid price when using an info record? Note, there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1 The system always proposes the price from the last purchase order whose number was copied into the info record. Option 2 The system always proposes the price stored at purchasing organization level, if available. Option 3 If a valid plant-specific price exists, it is proposed when a purchase order is created for the corresponding plant. Option 4 If there are no valid conditions maintained in the info record, the system can propose the price from the last purchase order. Question: your company uses the classic release procedure for purchasing documents. For which configuration object must approvers have the appropriate authorization? Option 1 Release indicator. Option 2 Release group. Option 3 Release strategy. Option 4 Release code. Question: you procure some materials exclusively by consignment. You want material requirements planning, MRP, to create consignment purchase requisitions assigned to a supplier, instead of normal purchase requisitions for these materials. What must you do for each of these materials? Note, there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1 Maintain a default storage location for external procurement in the material master record. Option 2 Create at least one source of supply for consignment. Option 3 Set a special procurement type for consignment in the material master record. Option 4 Set a special MRP group for consignment in the material master record. Question: how does SAP Fiori achieve the role-based design principle? Note, there are two correct answers to this question. Option 1 Complex transactions are split into several apps that correspond to a user and #39s role. Option 2, end users get all the information and functions they need for their daily work. Option 3, navigation, personalization, and application configuration are limited to ensure consistency across user roles. Option 4, the application interface adapts to the size and device used by the user. Question: you are entering a supplier invoice for a purchase order that has been delivered. What information can you use as a reference to post the invoice? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, purchase order number. Option 2, purchase requisition number. Option 3, delivery note number. Option 4, material document number. Option 5, bill of lading number. Question: in the standard system, a controllable system message is shown when a user creates a purchase order with a delivery date in the past. What must you configure to allow such purchase orders to only be created by authorized users? Option 1, copy the system message to a new version, set it as a warning message, and assign the version with user parameter MSV to the non-authorized users. Option 2, copy the system message to a new version, set it as a warning message, and assign the version with user parameter MSV to the authorized users. Option 3, copy the system message to a new version, set it as an error message, and assign the version with user parameter MSV to the authorized users. Option 4, copy the system message to a new version, set it as an error message, and assign the version with user parameter MSV to the non-authorized users. Question: which purchasing organization assignments can you make in customizing for the enterprise structure? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, one purchasing organization to one company code. Option 2, several purchasing organizations to one purchasing group. Option 3, one purchasing organization to several company codes. Option 4, several purchasing organizations to one company code. Option 5, one purchasing organization to several plants across company codes. Question: your purchasing department is working with scheduling agreements. What can you do using release creation profiles? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1, you can control the periodicity of release creation using release creation profiles. Option 2, you can create plant-specific release creation profiles in customizing. Option 3, you can enter a release creation profile in the material master data. Option 4, you can assign a specific confirmation control key to a release creation profile. Option 5, you can enter a release creation profile in the master data of a supplier. Question: you are posting a goods receipt without a corresponding purchase order, PO, in the system. Which of the following are prerequisites for automatic generation of the PO at the time of goods receipt? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1: automatic purchase order generation is activated for the movement type in customizing. Option 2: the goods receipt to be posted is intended for consumption. Option 3: a valid purchasing info record must exist for the material and supplier combination. Option 4: a central purchasing organization is assigned to the plant in customizing. Option 5: the delivered material is evaluated stock material. Question: which of the following options are available to block an invoice for payment? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1: set up automatic blocking based on user authorization. Option 2: set plant-specific tolerance limits for automatic blocking. Option 3: set up random automatic blocking. Option 4: set a manual payment block at invoice header level. Option 5: set up automatic blocking based on the amount. Question: you want to collectively convert assigned purchase requisitions into purchase orders. How can you do this? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1: use the assignment list. Option 2: use the source list. Option 3: use the document overview in the Create Purchase Order app. Me21N. Option 4: run Material Requirements Planning, MRP. Option 5: run the automatic generation of purchase orders. Question: you have several valid purchasing info records for one specific material available in your system. What is the system behavior when you manually create a purchase requisition? Option 1: the system will choose the most recent info record. Option 2: the system will list all valid records and the user needs to select one. Option 3: the system will choose the info record with the lowest price. Option 4: the system will choose the info record from the last purchase order. Question: which lot sizing procedures are suitable for reorder point planning? Note, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Option 1: monthly lot size. Option 2: daily lot size. Option 3: replenish to maximum stock level. Option 4: lot for lot order quantity. Option 5: fixed order quantity. Question: how can you prevent a release order from being created in excess of the target quantity of a quantity contract? Option 1: you must implement a BATI to check the target quantity in the contract release order and prevent release if the quantity exceeds it. Option 2: if the order quantity exceeds the target quantity, a warning message is issued. You can set this as an error message in customizing to prevent release. Option 3. If the order quantity exceeds the target quantity, a dialog box opens. You can use a special authorization to control whether the user may order the excess quantity. Option 4. The system prevents exceeding the target quantity in a release order. No additional action is required from you. Question: you want to implement split valuation functionality. What must you do? Note, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Option 1. Customize valuation categories and valuation types. Option 2. Assign valuation types to stock types. Option 3. Add valuation types to all open purchase order items. Option 4. Create additional accounting data for the relevant materials. Option 5. None.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.